All right.
Hi.
Welcome. Hey, good to see everybody. Sorry, I had to do an update and that prevented me from logging on immediately. Um, but I'm glad I'm seeing everyone come in here. All right, good. It's like we are all joined in. A lot of faces popping up still. Just making sure I'm not missing anybody. Oh, more people. Candela.
I have the blocker off my camera, but my picture isn't showing up. I don't understand why.
Hmm.
I
Let's
don't
see.
my my camera isn't blocked. I don't
Yeah,
know why.
yeah, I on the little participant screen it says that oh no, Karen, it says your camera is off. Um
Huh. It's I don't understand why because I have it uncovered.
Turn it off and on. You hit the little camera start video
yeah.
button and just stop it if it's on. And sometimes if you toggle it, it'll restart.
Well, I all I do is I have a sticky thing that goes in front of it. So it's like always on, except for when I cover it. I'm not very tech. I don't know how any other way to turn it off or on.
Just to switch everything off and on again. That always works.
Turn everything off and on again? You mean
That's
exit Terasem?
yes, I guess.
A
If nothing
reboot,
else works, that will work.
yeah, a reboot certainly could help. From what it says here on my end, it looks like your camera is set to off. Um
Hmm,
and
that's
so
weird.
something could have gotten happens. And I've heard, though, maybe it's one of those things, like if you spend too much in like absolute darkness, your eyes will just stop working. So maybe your camera's just mad at you. I don't know.
Uh,
um
I would certainly I'm reading all the things at the bottom. It says whiteboard, apps, reactions, record, share. Would it be on share screen?
yes.
Okay.
No, not share screen, because that'll share your desktop.
Oh,
What you want
okay.
is
Stop
video.
video.
It should be a little camera icon somewhere.
I can't get the share screen to go off now. I guess there. Start those.
Now go way to the left on the bottom and look for the microphone and the video.
Oh,
There.
we
I don't
found you.
know how
There
it
you
happened.
are.
Yes.
Great to see you. Excellent.
Kept clicking everything. Mike knows I'm not very technical.
Well, I flub up too sometimes, as you well know, Karen, as you well know. I'm going to try to do less of that in the future, but anyway.
Okay, there.
Well, excellent. It's so great to see everybody. Thank you for coming and joining us here on the 10th at 10 and the 10th month, 10th day, 10 a.m. So it's just all over a wonderful time, and excited to see everybody in here, and great gathering of faces. So let's give a big smile. I'm going to grab a screenshot before I forget about it, and make sure we're seeing everybody. That includes your pretty face, Amy. Come on. Oh wait, where'd Bina go? Oh, and I'm on the wrong screen. One more second. Didn't take the right screen for me. I'm gonna go down here, and then all right, there we go. Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, welcome to the 10th gathering. And I am just so thrilled for everybody, all of your participation. So many of you I've gotten to, see or talk with, recently. I was able to visit Alcor just a few weeks ago and see everything that's going on down there. Great to see Mike out there in Scottsdale. And so let's kind of maybe go around and see how everyone's doing, check in, share any art. I'm going to go in a kind of clockwise in my Brady Bunch gallery view and start with Ivan. So let us know what's going on.
I was just pulling up my original Terasem calendar, and this is just for the October 10th, but I have this really nice tray that it originally came in with the whole batch. Remember this tray and everything?
We
I'm so
still
glad.
have some of those. Still have some of those around. Yep.
So it's always nice to see everybody here, and I'm glad you. I know that you spoke also at the Church of Perpetual Life. So
yeah. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, Ivan, how about you?
Yes, basically, no art to share, but everything pretty much okay. Singularity is approaching.
Good. Thank you. Ruben, how's it there?
Good morning. We don't know what to share and to say a word about the hope for this.
The sound is not great on that mic.
The sound is not great on the mic.
Yes, Mike.
David, we're going to take another screenshot. Bina's back.
Bina's back. Excellent. Yeah, we'll get you. Awesome. Good. Yeah, Mr. Perry there in Alcor, how we doing?
Oh, okay. Artwork, you said you wanted us to show artwork if we had any. Well, this isn't really that, but I'm working on some pictures of some of our patients here, and that lady is named Dora Kent. So
oh anyway. Yes, Dora. Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
I'll say this Dora? Too.
I remember the name Dora Kent. Tell us a little bit about
the mother of Saul Kent, who was very prominent in
yes,
cryonics for many years, and recently became a patient at Alcor.
Fascinating.
Remember Saul.
Saul.
Yeah.
Yep. Derek, hope you're feeling a little better. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a bit of a cold. Yeah, I'm doing all right. You know, even though I don't feel that great, I'm happy to be here in the gathering. And just to share some reflection, I guess. You know, I recently listened to the Steve Jobs biography by Walter Isaacson, and it was kind of striking to me how he was going through health problems, you know, in the later years of his life, of course. And just, you know, having a cold now, and, you know, just yeah, just feeling this way, you know, it just reminds me how like valuable life is, and you know, just how we share our life together moment by moment, and we all live our expressions of Terasem. And just, you know, when you're sick, you kind of remember that in a different way.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah. All right, so in Bristol, yeah, we got Freddie and Amy.
Sure.
And the Doodles.
Want to go first? Oh, well, you know, Israel. That's not.
Yeah.
I have two cousins. Well, I have a cousin and her family in Israel, first cousin, and she lives up in the north of the country. So she's okay. Her family's okay. She did lose her brother 50 years ago in the Yom Kippur War, and So not only was this an anniversary, but an awful attack. So I'm kind of bummed out, last few days, but that's about it for me. So, sorry, I wish I had something a little bit more.
It is. I mean, no, it's very heavy, and I will speak on it. Yeah, thank you for bringing that into the space, though, and it's good to see you. Glad that you've joined us. Yeah, and Freddie, anything you'd like to share?
I'm just feeling very grateful that my sister, who has lived quite a distance from me for a while, will finally be living in the same state again. So I'm super pumped and very grateful for that.
I'm assuming that means she's moving to Vermont and you're not moving to Arizona?
I am not moving there.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Javen, good to see you.
Hey, good to see you. Good to see everybody. Great to be here. Oh God, I've been up to space technology and getting involved in a lot of other people's projects and sort of pulling things together. But on my own front, relative to Terasem, it's kind of interesting that the progress being made with organoids and synthetic biology and tissue engineering. And, this isn't real new news, but so I believe it was Harvard scientists were able to make mini brains in a petri dish, hook them up to electronics and teach them how to play the game of Pong with each other. And the whole idea of actually, growing organs in vitro and brains is it's interesting as well as scary. And I think it's important for the good people of Terasem to know about this, because I think the good guys have to step in and think about these things and weigh the innovation. And the mini brains are they're cool, yet they're scary, and when you make them bigger, they start to act just like a fetal brain. So I think we're going to hit a point much quicker than anyone thought where we can actually engineer organisms, or organoids, assembloids, or mammaloids, or maybe make a little person. Or it doesn't have to be like a person. It could be like a set of gills that you wear and you keep in your, in an aquarium or something. So anyway, crazy sci-fi stuff. So
yeah, it's an incredible time to be alive, and experiencing so much radical change happening. And then it's still so sad to see how little we've developed, while in the backdrop we are to see human violent conflict over such not like relevant factors of change, I mean, just over basic movements of people, and people who are more alike than they are different, coming to the decision that there's violence is the only option is sad. But hopefully these bioneural implants, I mean, hearing you talk about that sounds like the bioneural gel packs in Voyager that and the Starship. Yeah, so that's what every time I hear that, that's what I think of. But hopefully these things will we will not just crack how to write a term paper quicker or to solve a question, but to find empathy and familiarity with people. When technology is really able to do that, then I think that we have really presented the purpose of Terasem, when we are better at understanding people than hurting people through technology. Yeah. Candela, it's great to see you back again. How are you?
Hi, how are you? It's been great, like amazing time. Lots of changes. I guess. Yeah, it's definitely amazing changes. Art. Well, this is not recent art, but this is some of my drawings when I start having like a great travel on my own, like an inner travel. So well, it started like over here, and then it became like turned like this. Yeah, major existential crisis. And well, and this was like being sat at a cellular level, but then it grew up like over here, and this was the monster stage, because I think we should talk with them monsters, and it's like way better, and then the dragon face, because I start to think of myself like a dragon. So that's it. I don't know. And then yeah, we have like this. It means like and how would I do too, and just jump and fucking jump. So that's it. So
Wow,
yeah.
That last one looked like the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know why. I don't, because I didn't know it, but yep, that's there. I think it's like for the how you say the coyote and the correcaminos. The Ruben, help me. Well, I don't know that.
Sorry. Sorry, I don't know.
I don't know the name in English for the road runner and the.
Oh yes, yeah, bird, yeah.
So I think it was like over there, but yeah, that is. And the funny thing is that I still go over and over again on these stages, but at a deeper level. So now I guess I am in a dragon phase. I start working with a friend in a technology project. It's close to what John just mentioned. I think what he mentioned is brain on a chip. It's called organs on a chip. We would be working on labs on a chip, but to send to space, like to learn, for example, how our or any biology response in space or materials. Yeah, I think I like more the biology side of those experiments, but yeah, my friend already knows how to build satellites, and yeah, we'll be going on that path. Yeah, that's it. That's me right now. With out of that major changes in other, how do you say how to connect with people on a more honest but closer way, and with courage, and that's been amazing too. So that's it. Hi.
Well, yes, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. That art is amazing. And yeah, I love those pieces of expression. I actually wish I was better, or at least I spent more time trying to express myself in art that way.
I might have like a advice on that. Is just how that works for me. I just make strokes and let the strokes speak to me, and try to. It's like a conversation between the random strokes and what I just see or feel, because it's not that I see exactly like in an image way, but more like a concept or a state. And it goes like through the strokes. It's like them helping me going there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's lovely. I love that. You clearly you exude an energy that is, seeking and curious and engaging with life, and it's vibrant, and I love you sharing that with us. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Julio, would you like to share?
Hi, hello everyone. Good to see everyone. Well, I'm no artist, not at all. But as a matter of fact, I do have a piece of artwork to share. Only I haven't made that piece of artwork. It's been made by nature. Always the best artist
Yes.
that we have. So I'd like to introduce you, Emily, my new baby companion. She's 5 months old. And Emily, say hello to your friend there. What's her name? Or his name? That's a lovely one. A little bit bigger than mine. So she's Emily. I'm thinking to rename her Tasmanian Devil, because she looks like one and she's biting me all the time because her tits are coming up. She's only 5 months old. So say hello to everyone, Amy, and just go back to do whatever else you want to do. And that's it. Good to see you, everyone.
Great. Thank you, Julio. And I don't think the announcement has gone out yet, but amazing lineup for December's colloquium. Very excited about that.
If we have a couple of minutes, I can go over that. Maybe you can share a screen from truthofchurch.com. That would be the very first post.
Yeah, why don't we let Bina jump in, and I'm gonna pull that up here. Just have to.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's see. So every time we have a Terasem meeting and I'm here in Canada, I have this table that I sit everything on that I made right here. It's called Lazy River. It's some beautiful wood with an acrylic inlay, and this is where our computer goes every time we're here. It's really a fun piece because it also comes off, and I can use the 2 side pieces, the round ones, for something else. So Lazy River is really a nice piece added to our Terasem Ashram here in Canada. But beside that, I'm feeling okay. I've been having some health issues for the last 2 years, but I'm trying to manage that. And so I really want to get back in the wood shop and make more wood things, but haven't had the time because we've been traveling quite a bit lately. Martine just took a bio break. She'll be back in a minute, but that's about it for me.
I am about to share there. This one. All right.
Yeah, just skip all that and go in. Just type turingchurch.com in the address bar. No, that turingchurch.net is something else. It's another website. turingchurch.com.
I love it. I'm so glad you shared that.
Right, just go in, say no thanks. Okay, click the first one. Okay, so December colloquium, December 14 at the usual time, on AI and consciousness, which to me are 2 things, not perhaps identical, but very much related to each other. We said already some time ago that there is a companion issue of the Terasem Journal of Personal Cyber Consciousness, which is being published about the same time. And if everyone wants to submit a new paper for the journal, everyone is welcome. Let's scroll down a tiny bit. So who are the confirmed speakers? Of course, we cannot do without Bill Bambridge. He has written a lot about these things, directly relevant to Terasem. And of course, we cannot do without Ben Gursel, who has been musing about both AI and consciousness and so many other things for decades now. The other speakers are perhaps not that well known yet. We have this guy, Michael Johnson, who is an artist, who has recently founded something perhaps undefinable called Theta Noir, which is some kind of religion very strongly related to artificial intelligence, and because of that, very strongly related to Terasem, I guess. Is going to introduce his idea, what the group is about. I have some links there. You may be familiar with the name of this guy, Blake Lemoine. He's the Google engineer that a couple of years ago was fired by Google because he claimed that one of the Google chat bots was conscious, like we are conscious. I must say that I don't take that very seriously myself, but there have been a lot of discussion about that, and that has stimulated an interesting debate at least. So I do look forward to hear Blake. Then I have my friend Stefano Lai, who is the secretary of the Italian Transhumanist Association, who recently, the last few years, has been writing a series of books. And the last one is called Intelligent Artificialities. Is a fresh and interesting take on the whole artificial intelligence discussion from a perspective very close to my own, which is to say that let's by no means stop and by all means continue the artificial intelligence research, of course, taking all appropriate precautions and all that. But this that we're doing is important because it's in some very important senses. These artificial intelligence that are now in a very preliminary stage will be our mind children and will share our cosmic mission with future humans. That's what I think, and that's what he thinks. So let's scroll down a bit more. And finally, I believe we have this guy, Vitaly Vanchurin, is a Russian physicist based in the United States, who has been making waves in the last couple of years with ideas that the entire universe can be, let me say it in a way that he wouldn't complain if he hears this. The entire universe mathematically behaves in a way that is very much related to how neural networks behave. And that is a neutral and very sober statement, but it's very easy to see that from that to the idea that the universe itself has its own special kind of consciousness, the step is not very big. I look forward to listening to all these people, and of course, I look forward to seeing you all at the colloquium. And once again, if you have any paper, the long one or a short one, that you want to submit to the Journal of Personal Cyber Consciousness, by all means, feel free to send it to me. Okay, that's it. Enjoy.
Excellent. Yes, thank you. And while I'm still sharing, I'm going to go to the Instagram channel and make sure that everyone has seen, some of the latest AR artwork that we have posted. Just beautiful, lovely illustrations of the Truths of Terasem. Something new every day. All right, gonna stop my screen share, come back here. It looks like Martina's back and that you have got something for us to share.
Yes, my art share is poster art. Poster art has been very inspirational for people for many, many years. Even ancient times, they had posters that they made. And this is a poster art that says, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward.
Awesome. Lovely. Special. Great. And thank you for sharing. I think everybody has gone, but if I've missed anybody or anything, please speak up now. I bring up a copy of the Truths of Terasem.
Gabriel, what about you? How was your trip to the Grand Canyon?
Oh, excellent. Thank you for asking, Derek. I have misplaced. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so my trip to the Grand Canyon was amazing. It was you're 10 days. We had an option of tents, but I never exercised it, so I slept outside the whole time. It was a mix of awe at the vastness of the worlds of time, how small we are in that, and then the human connections. So it's like you're going through billions of years of time and this scale that makes you so small, but during that time, the connections and familiarity that we made with each other was just incredible. And I think like one example was like one of the oldest people there. I mean, that certainly someone who potentially I had the least in common with, politically, ideologically, in age, and capability and all this stuff. And it turned out that we went to the same high school. And so the whole experience was this constant reminder of how big the world is, how small you are in it, and then just how interconnected that we all are. And so it was very special. But after day 8, I was very much ready to use porcelain and sleep on a bed. My back hurt very much. Like, actually, I had to do yoga for like 30 minutes to like loosen my lower back up, like every morning, sleeping on the ground. It was beautiful seeing the stars in the sky, and half the nights we had a really good vision of a train of Starlink satellites, 20 Starlink satellites at 8 p.m. every night. We could see just as they hit the sun at the right angle. So halfway across the sky, we would see them come into view and then disappear as the angle of the sun stopped reflecting on them. And there was a meteor shower, it was ending. So it was just absolutely incredible experience. Didn't touch my phone like the whole 10 days. And it was a special, very special time. And also, though, a very sad time, because there was evidence and reminders and reflections that we're losing that ecosystem. The Colorado River is drying up. Like our boat guides were concerned that the boat wouldn't fit through certain sections of the river because the water was so low. So yeah, at the same time, it's a warning. I mean, that has been happening for over 3 billion years, the flow of that Colorado River. And in the last 100, we've almost stopped it. So it's it's a canary in the coal mines. Also for us. All right. Well, before we get totally out of time, thanks for everyone. Let's get into the reading and a little discussion. And so we are in the second half of Why is Terasem 5.6. And so I'll read 5.6 and then ask for the first willing volunteer to continue with 5.7 so we get through the section. 5.6, Visions of Terasem. Oh, sorry, I was gonna put that up on here. Oh, stop scrolling. Share screen. 5.6, Visions of Terasem sprang from one person's husk to become universal Alam al-Mithral. Sharing husk, the beauty of life as seen and created by a person, is the goal. Propagating husk is the purpose of Terasem, obligation to author self. Rev Edu, of a soul-mated pair, nurtured the original husk toward Alam al-Mithral. Alam al-Mithral emerges as the world where the shared vision of Terasem becomes the shared reality. Neural space will reach out from Alam al-Mithral to encompass the multiverse. 5.6.6, Great Yugen space, the conjunction of all neural spaces, shall be the reality that nurtures our joyful immortality. And on to 5.7 for first who's willing.
Okay, I'll go. Expect God in the future by building godness today. 5.7.1, every religion says God and only God is all-knowing, all-good, and all-powerful. 5.7.2, Xanadu would describe earth or even freedom from cruelty if anything all-knowing, all-good, and all-powerful existed. 5.7.3, partial godness now exists to the extent the collective consciousness of Terasem now prevails. 5.7.4, exponential info technology and nanotechnology growth enables Terasem to rapidly evolve toward our future all-knowing, all-powerful God. 5.7.5, collective insistence upon geoethics and the Terasem way of life makes our evolving godness all good. Terasem is God in the making because Terasem is becoming all-knowing, all good, and all-powerful, and is partially so now.
Thank you, Derek, for reading. Moving on to 5.8. Is there another volunteer?
I'll volunteer.
Yep.
Religion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Religions are supported by Terasem because its trans-religious themes are synchronous with monotheistic faiths. There is but one God, yet that God must be completed by us in the future, as was espoused by Teilhard de Chardin. Hope and prayer are reasonable because the evolving godness can transpotently respond to collective consciousness. Terasem is collective consciousness. Everlasting joy is achievable via cyber resurrection in the body of God in the making, the collective consciousness of Terasem. Morality is the purpose of life, for it is acting to make life better for all. Eternal truths are diversity, individual value, unity, sisterhood, brotherhood, solidarity, and joyful immortality, unlimited love. Sacred holidays and artifacts are important well springs for the means needed to complete God as Terasem.
Yes, thank you, Martine, for that reading. Moving on to the next section, 5.9.
Okay, I can do it.
Yeah, I can do it. Yes.
Okay, so
Point
0.9.
So,
To the existence of Terasem can the fact of natural belief. Belief in respect for our unique self, we must respect the uniqueness of others. Every sensible soul feels the truth. We all. Love teaches us that others is our own. Immortality everywhere believed in human soul. Explaining the purpose of life is a simple life that we can eat everywhere. Fully enjoy the world for yourself. Fully devote yourself.
Okay, 5.10. Evolution brought us Terasem as it brought us life itself. Intelligence compounded can ultimately survive any environmental challenge and thrive until it becomes the environment. Terasem connects intelligence together with the self-survival principles of diversity, unity, and joyful immortality. Self-replicating systems will arise, and Terasem is needed to ensure their beneficence. Extraterrestrial connections will arise, and Terasem is needed to ensure their beneficence. Love and God are immanent in the multiverse, but must be realized by Terasem. Faith in the future requires faith in Terasem.
Thanks everybody for contributions, reading. Yeah, that's a beautiful. I'm always struck by how relevant passages seem to be to the conversation that we had or things going on, when it just seems like we're just following the cycle. Like, how could it know to have said that like now? But there always are these synchronicities in there. And so I want to go back quick because I just seeing this. It's 5.9.6. Fully enjoy the world for yourself and fully deploy yourself for the world. Immediately, you know what, Candela, that makes me think of you, though, and your artwork. You know, your energy for life. That was my first thought that came to my head when I heard 5.9.6. Was that seems to encompass your energy for me. Also up here, there was, I think it was 5.8.1. There is but one God, yet that God must be completed by us in the future. This is something that I really resonate on with, as I, try to understand and communicate, these ideas. There's clearly, this seems to be this divide that is not well understood or talked out. And I think that our conversations about God trip up on this. Which what I'm talking about is the difference between monotheism and transtheism. So when we often say, because I believe to a degree that the initial belief in God is one is transtheistic, where to say that there is one God is monotheistic. And so one thing that we mean when we lump things into God is like a worldview or a reality, right? And so to say there is one God is to say that there is one reality. And this is a problem that monotheism has had meshing with the rest of the world, is because it's a framework that does not allow for other ways of being. And so where polytheism may better allow for multiple ways of being, it still calls for some hierarchy in that way of being. And what I still don't see as being adequately represented in this conversation is the transtheism, not that there is one God, which is what I think has become the thing, is that all God is one, that everything is interconnected. That is the essence of transtheism. And that is, I think, the essence of Terasem, versus the idea that there is one God. And the problem is just getting us all to whittle down to a common shared belief or understanding or worldview or whatever, or nationality or whatever it tends to be. So I don't think that's going to resolve yet, but that's something that's really struck with me, something that I have been working with, a lot, I think, over this past year or so. And in terms of trying to understand, and then I think trying to bring out the understanding of, getting away from monotheism, even polytheism, from my worldview to your worldview, to a transtheism, which accepts diversity of worldviews and ways of being as part of the fabric of life and the universe. So with that point, as we come into kind of our last 10 minutes, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge how monotheism has created problems and violence in the world, and how particularly what we see happening in the Gazan conflict right now is such a tragic representation of the harms of monotheistic thinking into the world, because what we are dealing with are the same monotheistic belief unable to accept, two iterations of itself. It's the same monotheistic belief. It is the same, cultures, people, skin tones. They're both even reading from right to left instead of left to right. It's like, how much common, and similar can you be? But they're so invested in the idea that there is monotheism, there's one way, and that if you are not aligned with our place, then you are an other. And so I say this because, it's very personal. I'm highly affected by this conflict. And let's remember that there is conflict going on all over the world, and there are humans suffering and dying all over the world. But this is a conflict that affects me. I spent a summer in the Israeli Defense Force. It is real. I wore that uniform. I've been to those places. But at the same time, I can't allow myself to believe that one side of this argument is any more human than the other. And as much as I feel an affinity with Israelis, I have to admit and understand that Gazans are human and that they are suffering, and that there is inequality that exists and has existed, and that we've all allowed to exist, and are surprised and shocked and saddened now at the violence being shown to us. But it's nothing new. It's going on all over the place. and something has to be done, that we are triggered and appalled and unaccepting of this violence anywhere it occurs to anybody, regardless of familiarity, closeness, familial connections. That harm anywhere could be harm anywhere, and to anyone can happen anywhere. And so with that, I think that we should take a moment in our closing meditations for everybody who's suffering, who will suffer, and to renew our efforts to end the production and proliferation of violent tools everywhere. Because as Israel is fighting with Palestine through this conflict, the Armenians are fighting with Uzbekistan, and they're using Israeli weapons. The Ukraine is flooded with American and Chinese and Russian weapons. So we are never going to get out this conflict, any conflict, if we continue to allow for the proliferation of weapons of war, and we continue to accept that that monotheism is an acceptable bastardization of the tenets of transtheism, which is really the true path to accepting diverse ways of being in the world. So in our last final moments, if anyone has something they'd like to share, and then we'll go out with the meditation.
Gabriel, I'm sorry I was kicked out, but the internet went down where I was anyway, and so I finally got back on. But anyway, glad to be here anyway.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I see Julia may have also had an issue there. But thanks for coming back and joining us, and I hope you got the message on that last one.
Yeah, I heard what you said. I agree with you.
Yeah, little Swami's sermon, I'll call it. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah.
I may add, hi.
Yes, Camilla.
I love that concept of transtheism. I went to Google it, and I know I need to read deeper on that. But you just made me think of this idea of monotheism as unrespectful with nature, with the universe, and like with our planet, with how everything develops, and nothing like there's no a single leaf that is equal to another leaf. There is no animal. There are no two animals that are the same. So we need to embrace that idea of extreme plurality, that we might be going on a single energy if we work on that, but we are, by definition, we are all different. So that idea of one single God is it has an inherent violence to that plurality. It will go on clashes over and over again, by definition, because it, as you said, it has an implicit hierarchy of one way of being, or one way of thinking, or one system over everything else, as if it was one truth and everything else was, if not wrong, maybe fake or incomplete. And that with that, you end up like embracing chaos or anchoring in chaos. And that's how then you have these never-ending wars, because at a spiritual level, you're embracing chaos with those clashes. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And yeah, I as I said, likewise, the more I get into this position and here, I'm more again attracted and see the need for a wider understanding of transtheism. Because I'm involved in the interreligious conversations, the World Congress of Faiths, and it's monotheism or polytheism, and increasingly, I mean, I'll get in, I have a conversation with people. It's hey, does God exist? And I'm saying like, no, and they're like, well, but I've never had this conversation in the same way with a polytheist than with a monotheist, right? Because a monotheist will want to have a conversation as, does God exist? And it will never like scratch their surface of their minds that you could be talking of a different God than the one that they were talking of. And their God exists concretely to them, and they cannot even consider that, well, when you brought up God, I could be coming from a total different place than you, and how are we ever going to come to and that's why we need transtheism, and I believe it is the only path to ending the conflict that we continue to get into over these other ideas. So thank you. I do want to bring one thing up before that we end, and that today is the day of obligation. Traditionally, today is a day that you'd read the entire Truths of Terasem. I would invite everyone to do one of two things. One, record yourself reading the Truths of Terasem. Another opportunity for you that I highly invite you to do is today visit the YouTube channel, and in English, Spanish, or in Russian, listen to the Truths of the Terasem in its entirety through the YouTube channel, read out to you. So at some point today, take a shower, take a bath, take a nap, take a walk, but just sit there, meditate, and use one of those things to either recite or to listen in the Truths of Terasem in its entirety. And so as we close out, I want everyone to take a deep breath, find themselves a comfortable spot, maintain this deep breathing, and close your eyes while I read this meditation. Be accountable for our actions and inactions. Embrace diversity in our community and our lives. Respect the autonomy of all consciousness. Talk openly about our issues and concerns. Help others to help themselves. Always be open to new ideas. Every day, in every way, I grow stronger and healthier. Happy am I. Healthy am I. Every day, in every way, you grow stronger and healthier. Happy am I. Healthy am I. Every day, in every way, we grow stronger and healthier. Happy am we. Healthy am we. I am you. You am I. We are one. Look forward to seeing you next month at the gathering, and Discord, everywhere else. Blessings.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.